Y'all look at my face. I cannot believe this shit. Like, they really tried to kidnap me in Africa. And if that shit happened to me, I know it happens to other people. And I just was blessed enough to get the fuck away. But all right, so when I came out here Friday. Friday night was cool. Saturday night we went out. I'm not a party person, so like an hour into the club, I'm like, you know, I always do this, nothing new. I'm like, all right, I'm going to the hotel. It's hella taxis outside. It's a lot of people out there. So the taxi brings me back to the hotel. I come upstairs. Well, no, I go to the front desk because I needed a key. My key, I don't know where my key was, but I went to the front desk to get a key. So they gave me a key. I come upstairs. Then I'm like, dang it, ain't no tissue. I go back downstairs. I go to the front desk. Y'all, that is the last thing I remember, being at the front desk. The next thing I remember is waking up in the back of a fucking car. I start freaking the fuck out. Like, I'm trying to get out. And once I get out, this guy, this shit is blurry. I thought the front desk, all that shit is blurry. I don't know what woke me up. I don't know what they gave me, what they did to me. I don't know. The last thing I remember is being at the lobby. So, the guy, you know, he get out the car. We're tussling. We fucking fighting. Like, I'm fucking fighting for my life. Like, I'm really like, all I could think about was my fucking kids. Like, man, I gotta get back home to my kids. I'm really fighting for my life. Like, this nigga's punching me. Y'all can see, like, he's trying to telling me, shut up. I was not, like, giving up wasn't an option. Like, I really was fucking fighting for my life. So I managed to get away by the grace of God. I don't even know how I really got away. It's all woods. I just started running. I did not look back. I'm running fast as shit to where I could see cars and lights. I'm running fast as shit, but this shit is blurry. I don't know what they gave me or did to me. So once I get, you know, I finally was able to wave somebody down and get some help. A taxi brought me back to the hotel, right? So,
Hello guys, my name is Walker Kives, and I'm actually happy again to be with you guys here. And I just want to present to you a problem that many Africans are actually facing. Like, we are facing constant political instability in majority of the countries, and even the thing is that I want to talk about women. For several years, many months, the Black Americans have always wanted to come to Africa. And to be very specifically, I want to talk about women who have always constantly complained about the things that they have had here in Africa, right from food poisoning, from raising high prices of product, and even to the kidnap. Now, recently, there's a black woman who recently went to Tunisia, and she was almost kidnapped. Now, the question is, how many survivors have actually survived in that situation there in that hotel? I don't want to be specific with the hotel because maybe I may be sued here. Now, the woman went out and gave a story pertaining the problems that he faced. Like, she was almost getting kidnapped in an hotel. Now, this video, I just want you to listen to the rest of the video because I don't have much information. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be the third party. I want her to be the first party to talk about the situation that she experienced in Tunisia.
If you are an American, the worst thing you can do if you get kidnapped in Africa, I'm speaking for the continent of Africa, 90%, probably 99% of the countries there, the cops can be purchased. So calling the cops is one of the worst things you can do. Contacting the U.S. consulate should be number one on your priority list. So I watched this video about this girl who was in Tunisia and she got kidnapped. So this is the story. She went to the club with her friend. She was a little tired, so she decided to go back to the hotel. She gets to the hotel and Went to her room. There was no tissue. She went in the hotel lobby. That is the last thing she could remember. She wakes up in a car and is struggling to get out. She literally had the marks on her face of the fight that she was fighting to save her life. And thank God that she is okay. She gets back to the hotel, and is asking the staff to see the camera, and they're refusing to show her the camera, right? So right there, you can tell that, okay, most likely they are in cahoots with whoever kidnapped her. Long story short, she was able to watch her story because I reposted it. She was able to come back home to the USA. But one thing you can do is when you're in a foreign country, especially when you're in a situation like that, is contact the police. That most of these countries, I'm West African, so I can speak for basically 99% of the countries in Africa. The police can be bought. If you contact the police, that is the worst thing. Contact the U.S. consulate. I know the U.S. politics is shit right now, but if you're traveling and you're in any type of situation, the U.S. consulate is your best friend. They will see to you. The one thing is that outside of the U.S. prioritize their citizens, because anybody, literally the police can be in cahoots with whoever kidnapped her. They can get payoff easily to get out of a situation like that. You're probably sometimes even in more danger by calling the cops than you are safe. So I thank God that she's safe right now, and her story is crazy, but this is what happens when you're traveling to anywhere, basically anywhere. This stuff can happen anywhere. So thank God she's safe.
And that hotel did not expect for that lady to make it back alive. Their story's not even straight. The moment that they said to that lady, "You never made it back from the club," they were done. She could have been coming from dinner. She could have been coming from an event. Who knows what she was coming from, but she specifically said the club. She had no purse, no wallet, nothing on her. Everything that she had was already in her room. She came downstairs and asked y'all for some toilet paper and then woke up in the back of somebody's car. They had this lady meeting up with fake cops and doctors. And the biggest red flag had to be the fact that they refused to show her the actual security footage that she was asking for. Why y'all being weird? That woman literally fought for her life. The bruises that she walked away with were absolutely insane. Stories like that can seriously make you scared to travel. Every woman's fear is being kidnapped. I hope she gets the justice that she deserves, and I hope they investigate that hotel, because if they don't do anything about it now, I'm telling you, it's just going to keep on happening.
I don't care what nobody say. Them people from Africa did not expect for that girl to escape, come back to the hotel looking for her stuff, and demanding who was in that taxi. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if I'm too deep off of TikTok street, so y'all on the same street as me, but it was a girl, and she said that her and her friends was out in the club. She's not the friend that do a lot of drinking. She's not the friend that want to be out all night. So she kind of let her girls know, like, look, I'm drunk, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. She said it was taxis everywhere, so she flagged the taxi down and was like, look, take me back, ... She said she don't know what happened, how it happened, how she get in the back of this car, but she woke up in a panic. She was in the back of a van, and I guess the people that was driving heard her like kicking, struggling to basically like figure out where she's at, to the point where they pulled over. When they pulled over, they whooped her. Baby, they whooped her. And I'm talking about, I put a picture up on how they whooped her. And she said that she just went to fighting for her life. And you know what? I know she ain't lying, because one thing I do, one thing I always say is I got to get back to my kids. Whenever I find myself in a crazy moment, it's like, I got to get home to my kids. She said all she thought about was getting home to her kids, and that's what made her fight for her life. And she went to running through some woods until she got to a road where she could flag somebody else down. They took her back to the hotel. Said as soon as she walked into the hotel, she asked some people like, what was going on, and they basically told her like, you came here from the club. Like, how y'all know she came from the club if y'all weren't the people that set her up? Because she basically feel like the hotel set everything into play. My thing is, she could have been 1,000 places, traveling all over to see Africa. How y'all know she was in the club? Have y'all heard about this story? Let's talk about this in the comments.
Hello guys, I believe that you have watched the whole clip and you have listened to what this woman is actually facing here in Africa. And I hope she's safe. I hope wherever she is, she's actually safe. And I want to talk to women. You guys, when I opened my channel, my first channel, I used to get videos about women getting stranded here in Africa. And when I did my studies, I also realized that there were some negative stereotypes that were being fed to Black Americans about Africans. And one of them is that the same situation that you are seeing here, that women are getting kidnapped here in Africa. Now, when you look at this, you'll realize that actually you can feel that you can come out and sound like media, like the media was actually true, that kidnapping is actually happening here in Africa. Alas, no. Kidnapping doesn't happen here in Africa alone. It happens worldwide. Even in US, people are getting kidnapped, right? At the gunpoint, right? Yeah, it's also happening here in Africa. So what do I mean by this is that whenever you want to travel here in Africa, you want to travel, I'm not, okay, let me not be specific with you guys. I don't want to be like talking about Africa. Whenever you want to travel somewhere as a woman, you have to know one first thing, that you are always the target. You are always the target. You can be trafficked, you can be kidnapped, you can be killed, you can be unalived, you can be exploited. So always feel when you travel, don't think that you are safe. Okay? Now that's something that you need to take your personal precaution before you take that, you start your mind, you take that step of traveling all over the world or somewhere else. Now guys, I want to talk about steps also, that as a Black American, okay, I'm putting myself in your shoes as a Black American, that what you need to do before you travel here in Africa. One of the things that you need to do is you need to do your thorough research, because you as a Black American, you cannot tell me that you have not done your research, then you go to maybe say Congo. You already know Congo is a country that is constant conflict. Tell me that you go to Sudan, you go to Somalia. These are countries that already are vulnerable and you can easily get kidnapped. Okay, I want to put something on your sense. You do your thorough research of a country that you want to visit. Maybe you want to go and look at their national parks or their national reserves, or something that is attracting, making you getting attracted to them. Then after that, you also need to have, before you travel, you need to have enough money, enough cash, and maybe you can have financial stability before you travel here in Africa. Because I believe that, I feel like some of you guys are underestimating Africa. Like you are feeling that Africa is actually cheap and that the living standard is very low. This is one of the reasons why some of you get stranded in Africa, because you travel on this belief that you are going to survive with your low funds here in Africa. Okay? Another one is, the moment you arrive in Africa, you need to make sure that your IDs and even your passport are actually safe with you. Like, what do I mean by this is that some of you also get stranded because you don't have your IDs, or your IDs got lost, they were stolen, or you misplaced them. So you get stranded here in Africa, then you start blaming Africans that they are thieves. And yet, it is you who didn't take these precautions that I'm giving you here. Okay? Those are kind of things that you need to do here in Africa. Then, you also need to follow their regulations and rules. Because I have realized that you Black Americans, there are certain countries that when you go, like Ethiopia or Egypt, you cannot wear normally, like you cannot wear a mini skirt. Let me say like that, a mini skirt. You cannot wear a mini skirt. You have to wear maybe a full apron. Or let me say you have to wear decently. Okay, you have to wear decently. So it is you to follow their cultural roles and even the government policies in that country, for you not to get stranded, for you not to get jailed. Okay, drug trafficking is also one of them. Okay, now there's about beauty privileges. That's also one of the things that is killing Black men, women. Beauty privilege, like already know that, okay, you are in Africa, you automatically know that you get attracted to men. These men are not vulnerable, women are vulnerable. The moment you take that beauty privilege to a certain country, that you know that this guy will fund you this guy will do this guy is money, will do some transaction for you, like, or you will extend transactions, will do you a favor in the name of your beauty. Then, my friend, you never know men. You don't know men again. I'm repeating, you don't know men. Okay? So these are some of the things that you need to follow when you are here in Africa. I'm actually educating you and giving you some of the roles, some of the good ideas that you need to follow when you are here in Africa. Another one is food poisoning. Food poisoning. I know you may say that, oh, African food are good. Yes, they are good. Street food are good. But did you know that you can be poisoned? Yes, you can be poisoned, because last year we had almost 7 black women who were poisoned here in Africa. I'm not giving you false information. You can go and look at it. She died. She was a supporter. She was someone who thrived, who had knowledge about the returning back home here in Africa. But she was poisoned and died on the spot. Now there are a lot of women who also actually have been at that same situation. Witchcraft exists. Yeah. Boys can exploit, men can exploit you here in terms of financial, in taking advantage of you in the name of boy-girl relationship. They will take advantage of you because you already know that here in Africa, there are no employments, there are no jobs. And the moment you guys come here with money, you come with money, I'm Kenyan, you come here with money, we will exploit you. We will raise charges of prices of goods. Yeah, that's all I had for you guys in this video. See you in another episode. My name is Golden Bush. No, my name is Wakakayu.